Hello everyone, we're from Group 5 and we are going to deliver our presentation about pay structure decision. But before that, I will introduce myself first. My name is Yuki Fairuuz and I'm here with my two friends, Audrey and Salsabila. Firstly, I'm going to explain about what is pay structure. Pay structure is an organized levels or grades of employee salaries divided by job type, or you can call it salary structures. And this is the examples of the pay structure, as you can see in the slide.
Next is kind of decision involved in establishing a pay structure. First is job structure. It consists of the relative pay for different jobs within the organization. It establishes relative pay among different functions and different level of responsibility. Second is pay level. It's the average amount, including wage, salary, and bonuses, the organization pays for a particular job. Together, job structure and pay level establish a pay structure that help the organization achieve goals related to employee motivation, cost control, and the ability to attract and retain talented human resource. So these are legal requirements for pay policy. The first is equal employment opportunity. Employer may not base differences in pay on an employee's age, sex, race, or other protected status. Any differences in pay must instead be tied to such business-related consideration as job responsibility or performance. Job description, job structure, and pay structure can help organizations to demonstrate that they are upholding this law. Next is minimum wage. In the United States, employer must pay at least the minimum wage established by law. A wage is the rate of pay per hour. At the federal level, the 1938 Fair Labor Standards Act, or FLSA, established a minimum wage that is now $7.25 per hour. The FLSA also permits a lower training wage which employers may pay to workers under the age of 20 for a period of up to 90 days. The sub-minimum wage is approximately 95% of the minimum wage. Third is overtime pay. The overtime rate under the FLSA is 1.5 times the employee's usual hourly rate. Including any bonus and piece rate payments, amount paid per item produced, the overtime rate applies to the hours worked beyond 40 in 1 week. 4 is child labor. In the early year of Industrial Revolution, employers could pay low wage by hiring children. The FLSA now sharply restricts the use of child labor, with the aim of protecting children's health, safety, and educational opportunity. This restriction applies to children younger than 18. Under the FLSA, children aged 16 and 17 may not be employed in hazardous occupation defined by the Department of Labor, such as mining, meat packing, and certain kinds of manufacturing using heavy machine. Children aged 14 and 15 may work only outside school hours in jobs defined as non-hazardous and for limited time periods. And the last one is prevailing wage. Under this law, federal contractor must pay their employees at rate at least equal to the prevailing wage in the area. The calculation of prevailing rates must be based on 30% of the local labor force. Now, how economic can influence on pay? There are 3 things how economic influences on pay. First is product market. Product market places an upper limit on the pay an organization will offer. This upper limit is most important when labor costs are large part of an organization's total cost and when the organization customers place great importance on price. Second is labor market. Besides competing to sell the products, organizations must compete to obtain human resources in labor markets. In general, workers prefer higher paying jobs and avoid employers that offer less money for the same type of job. In this way, competition for labor established the minimum an organization must pay to hire an employee for a particular job. If an organization pays less than the minimum, employees will look for jobs with other organizations. And the last one is pay level, deciding what to pay. Although labor and product market limits organization choices, there is a range within which organization can make decision. The size of this range depends on the detail of organization competitive environment. If many workers are competing for few jobs, employer will have more choices. How employees evaluate the fairness of a pay structure. First is judging fairness, and the second is communicating fairness. Now you can see on the picture, equity or pay seems fair. It means that my outcome and your outcome are same, but it's also based on the job or activity that we do at work. Meanwhile, the inequity or pay seems unfair. It means that my outcomes and your outcomes are different, but we have the same level of work. And how employee designed pay structure related to job? First, job evaluation. And then second is research market pay levels. Third is pay grades. And the last one is pay differential.
Alternatives to job-based pay. The traditional and most widely used approach to developing a pay structure focuses on setting pay for jobs or groups of jobs. This emphasis on jobs has some limitations. The precise definition of a job's responsibilities can contribute to an attitude that some activities are not in my job description, at the expense of flexibility, innovation, quality, and customer service. Organizations have responded to these problems with a number of alternatives to job-based pay structures. Some organizations have found greater flexibility through delayering or reducing the number of levels in the organization's job structure. By combining more assignments into a single layer, organizations give managers more flexibility in making assignment and awarding pay increase. Another way organizations have responded to the limitations of job-based pay has been to move away from the link to jobs and toward pay structures that reward employees based on their knowledge and skills. Skill-based pay systems are pay structures that set pay according to the employee's level of skills or knowledge and what they are capable of doing. Paying for skills makes sense at organizations where changing technology requires employees to continually widen and deepen their knowledge. How to ensure that pay is actually in line with the pay structure? Usually, the Human Resource Department is responsible for establishing the organization's pay structure. But building a structure is not the end of the organization's decisions about pay structure. As part of its management responsibility, the Human Resource Department therefore should compare actual pay to the pay structure, making sure that policies and practice match. A common way to do this is to measure a compare ratio, the ratio of average pay to the midpoint of the pay range. Assuming the organization has pay grades, the organization would find a compare ratio for each pay grade. The average paid to all employees in the pay grade divided by the midpoint for the pay grade. If the average equals to midpoint, the compare ratio is 1. More often, the compare ratio is somewhat above 1, meaning the average pay is above the midpoint for the pay grade, or below 1, meaning the average pay is below the midpoint. Paying employees serving in the military and paying executives. The Uninformed Service Employment and Re-employment Rights Act requires employers to make jobs available to any of their employees who live to fulfill military duties for up to 5 years. While these employees are performing their military service, many are earning far less. To demonstrate their commitment to these employees and to earn the public's goodwill, many companies pay the difference between their military and civilian earnings, even though this policy is costly. Chief executive officers have an extremely large impact on the organization's performance, but critics complain that when performance falters, executive pay doesn't decline as fast as the organization's profits or stock price. Top executives help set the organization's tone or culture, and employees at all levels are affected by the behavior of the people at the top. Therefore, employees' opinions about the equity of executive pay can have a large effect on the organization's performance. Job evaluation. Employers use two basic approaches to setting pay rates: market-based approach and job evaluation methods. Many firms, particularly smaller ones, simply use a market-based approach. Job evaluation is a systematic comparison done in order to determine the worth of one job relative to another. These methods involve assigning values to each of the company's jobs. This process helps produce a pay plan in which each job's pay is equitable based on what other employees are paying for these jobs and based on each job's value to the employer. Here is the step-by-step to prepare the job evaluation. First is identifying the needs. Second, getting employees to cooperate. Third, choose a job evaluation committee. Fourth, the committee select compensable factors. Fifth, choose the job evaluation method. And sixth, evaluating the worth of each job. Some of job evaluation methods commonly used by the corporate are ranking, the simplest method of job evaluation that involves ranking each job relative to all other jobs. Job classification. This method will categorizing jobs into groups. This method then divides into classes and grades grouping. Point method. The job evaluation method in which a number of compensable factors are identified and then the degree to which each of these factors is present on the job is determined. Market competitive pay plan. Market competitive pay system is a system in which the employer's actual pay rates are competitive with those in the relevant labor market. The 16 steps in creating a market competitive pay plan are: first, choose benchmark jobs. Second, select compensable factors. Third, assign weights to compensable factors. Fourth, convert percentage to points for each factor. Fifth, define each factor's decrease. Sixth, determine for each factor's decrease points. Seventh, review job description and job specifications. Eighth, evaluate the jobs. Ninth, draw the current internal wage curve. 10th, market analysis or salary survey. 11th, draw the market external wage curve. 12th, compare and adjust current and market wage rates for job. 13th, develop pay grades. 14th, establish rate range. 15th, address remaining jobs. And 16th, correct out-of-line rates. When decide the pay value for the employees, Human Resource Department need to understanding the compensation and employee engagement. What is compensation and employee engagement? In general, compensation describes as the rewards paid to employees in exchange for the service they provide. It may be salary, wage, incentives, and/or commission. Total compensation includes cash reward as well as any other company benefits, while employee engagement is the involvement and enthusiasm of employees in their workplace. To realize it, the corporate need to emphasize the total rewards, not just financial rewards, but also include the intangible reward, such as the nature of job or quality of work and career development opportunities.
That was from our video. We're very sorry if there is a lack of information that we give to you guys. I hope you guys can get what's the best for you. Thank you for paying attention to our video. Once again, thank you.